with Skill Development Council. This session is mainly focused on guiding you on how to present your opinions during group discussion and many more such useful tips. Now, I would like to invite our guest for today's session, Mr. Ayan Pal, currently serving as a district director at the Toastmasters. He's an IBM accredited IT professional, educator, speaker, and author with more than 20 titles to his credit. As an educator and speaker, he has mentored students, delivered keynotes, conducted workshops, and judged events across 35 countries. Now, over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. I'm going to start by sharing my screen. Just give me a moment. If at any point of time there is some issue, I will request Asankhya Vishwamohan to do that. But I think that should not be a problem. Just give me a moment here. Are you all able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It is visible.
Awesome. May I know how many people are already in the room? The number of people? Because I can't see that anymore.
Sir, 41 people.
Thank you. Hello and welcome everyone to all the 40 other people. I'm being the 41st. So I'm the District Director of Toastmasters International of District 124. I also happen to be a Senior Consultant at IBM. And today, we are going to talk about Group Discussions 101 for internships and placements, where you will hopefully learn about how to create impact with words, stand out from the crowd, and present yourself with confidence. Now, before I begin, I have a little exercise for you, all right? I hope all of you have access to Google. So why don't you Google me up and tell me what you know about me? First of all, thank you to the Student Counseling Services, SAKA, for reaching out. And obviously, at any point in time, if you have any questions, you can reach out to us via the chat and after the sessions to skills.sakha@iitbhu.ac.in. I repeat, skills.sakha@iitbhu.ac.in. But for the time being, you can use the chat section to find out what's the most interesting thing about me that you found out on Google. Okay, so let's get started. Maybe one of the organizers can help read these things. May I request Asankhya Vishwamohan, the division director who is in charge of a major part of Uttar Pradesh, to tell us what they are saying on the chat.
So Abhinav has mentioned Toastmasters.
Okay.
Everyone, you can put in your answers in the chat box for us
Let's
to
be as
take it.
interactive as possible. Thanks, Asankhya. If you want to be good at group discussions, we have to have discussions. So I'm starting up with the discussion to see where we stand as a group. So as a group, it's very important for us to know each other to the best of our ability. Obviously, we can't know all of us all the time. We have only that much of time. So if there's a group discussion and we are supposed to talk about me, for instance, your facilitator for today, what would you have to say? So Group Discussions 101 is being conducted by whom? Of course, you know my
Author and
name.
public speaker.
Author and
Mr.
public
Yash
speaker,
Tarwani has mentioned.
Yash
Mr.
Sarwani.
Dhananjay mentioned Indian author and public speaker who is known for for his novel Confessions on an Island. And
Okay.
Abhinav again mentioning a Confession on an Island. Yeah.
Okay, so lots of confessions from all of you. All right. Give yourselves a break, but please understand today we have a lot of similar discussions. Now, how many of you are aware of the most celebratory thing about the place you're studying at, the city or the town that you're studying at? What is it? What's that one thing that makes it very, very famous? Anyone? The most discussable, worthy thing of your city? where you're studying. Varanasi, what is it? Anyone? So much time to think about what's the
Maha
most.
People have mentioned Mahadev, holy city known for Shiva, Indian culture, river Ganges.
River Ganges, yes, Ganga, River Ganges. So I wanted to talk about that. Of course, Ganga is the distinguishing feature of Varanasi. You know, Varanasi is an ancient city that has always been there near the Ganges River. And a lot of people believe that if you take a dip in the river, a dip of faith, you can do a lot of things. Now, today, what if I told you that taking the dip of faith can actually help you prepare for a group discussion? Hmm. How interesting would that be? Well, no, you don't have to physically go and jump into the river Ganges or swim in the river Ganges or bathe in the river Ganges. You have to take the figurative dip of faith, where D, I, and P stands for all the things we are going to learn today, after which you will hopefully be able to ace your group discussions. The first is D, delve deep. Well, I don't know what's in the deepest part of the river Ganges, but today you have to learn how to delve deep in order to prepare yourself. Second, interpret or analyze or understand the basics of communication. And finally, perform during the group discussion. So let's look at how we are going to do this, how we are going to take the dip of faith. Let's begin with this. Well, this is not a picture of the Ganges, but a representation of delving deep into industry needs and requirements. So we all are a part of Industry 4.0, and there are certain needs and certain requirements of the industry. What's that one technology you think everyone is talking about nowadays? You know, what that one skill to have that you think is a very important skill to have? Any suggestions from you, students?
Someone has mentioned artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence, chat GPT, predictive models, data science, right? All of these things. Now, how many of you are experts at artificial intelligence? Well, I recently did deliver a TED talk on artificial intelligence. That was supposed to be in Dhaka, Bangladesh. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, how many of you are experts at artificial intelligence? Raise your hands. Or just say yes, 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 I am. Probably not most of you. How many of you are experts at data science? Raise your hands. Or say yes, I am. Again, probably not many of you. But we have to delve deep into the industry needs and requirements. And when you're trying to get a little bit into something, you know, due to be it in trying to get internships or anything else, you have to understand the needs and requirements of the industry you're getting into. And for that, you need to understand the skills companies need most. Now, companies need two kinds of skills. What are these two kinds of skills? Can anyone tell me? No idea. There are two kinds of skills. One is technical skills and the other is known as soft skills or power skills. And the skills that companies need most, on the top of the list is creativity. Of course, these rankings change. Then is persuasion, then collaboration, then adaptability, then emotional intelligence. This was as per LinkedIn a few years, I think about 1.5 years back. The details would have changed, but over the last 5 years, while the hard skills and soft skills requirements have changed, one skill that has remained constantly on the top is, no surprises, creativity. Connecting dots that are seemingly unrelated to generate original, useful solutions is an incredibly valuable skill in every employee, regardless of what industry or country you're doing business in. So what do you do about this? What do you do to make yourself more creative? Is there a way by which you can make yourself more creative? Well, I have to refer to go a little bit more deeper and refer to a study about which I hope you will be able to discuss in the future. That was done by Michigan State University. Okay, and it was published on 14 September 2017. And this was a study done for warriors that said not the fighters as in the Bahubalis, but people, but for the Chintamanis, people who worry a lot. And it has been said, as per this research, that expressive writing can cool the brain on stressful tasks. Now, how many of you have no worries in life? You're like, bindas, we're just completely fine. We are the boss. We are at IIT. We're doing this. We're doing that. Our life is set, man. There's no worry at all. Is there anyone like that in the class today? In the session today? In this Microsoft Teams? I'm guessing not. I'm sorry, I'm giving you answers before you have a chance to respond. I'm guessing somewhere all of us, including me, have something to worry about, be it that dream job that we need, that special friend who needs to be a little bit more special, about what would mom and dad think, about whether we are making enough money, about whether we are getting the right kind of grades, about whether we will be able to fulfill our dreams. We are worried about so many things. But if you are a chronic warrior, please take note. Sometimes all it takes is 8 minutes. 8 minutes of expressive creative writing, and you will be able to awaken a cognitive process through these resources. So if you're someone who is multitasking, worrying, or you're trying to do something and monitor something else, well, you will be able to get all of that out of your head. And from this particular person who is worrying and definitely in a red zone, you will become this particular person who is happy and doing things much better. So creative writing, ladies and gentlemen, dear students, can indeed make a difference to you. So what's next? When you are able to do creative writing, and that was one of the topics, how to select words effectively, and I'm sure we all want to do that. So what do you do after you have mastered the art of expressing? Well, in a group discussion, you have to communicate, not just to express, but also to impress. So after you've mastered the art of creative writing, of course, that will take time. You have to create an emotional outlet and let go. You will be able to develop self-confidence and identity. You will be able to give weight to your imagination, and you will be able to learn how to organize your thoughts better. And finally, you will be able to develop thought leadership. Now, can anyone tell me what is the meaning of thought leadership? Anyone? What do you think thought leadership is? Let's try it out, the chat section. Dear students, what do you think thought leadership is? Come on, the Chintamani especially. क्या है इसका मतलब? Thought leadership का मतलब क्या है? I hope you all can understand Hindi. Can the student heads let me know if you all understand Hindi? I'm not sure about the culture about IITBHU, but I believe since you are in Varanasi, at least some Hindi you would be able to understand. Is that fine? Can I speak in Hindi as well as English? Students? I have no idea.
Yes, sir.
I can.
Mr.
All right. Thank you. Dhanyavad. So develop thought leadership. So what do you mean by developing thought leadership? It's not a very difficult question. What if this was a group discussion topic? Would you just be simple and silent and in your head getting more and more violent? I hope not.
Mr. Pavani has said having expertise in a particular field. Jatin has said convert thought into action.
Okay.
He's not sure, but he means converting thought into action is what it means.
Okay. Go on, Asankhya. What else? That's it. 2 answers. Oh no, there are more than 40 in the room, and only 2 people are trying to offer an answer here. Understand, a group discussion is going to be very cutthroat, and you have to always try to be able to come up with discussing points. So what is thought leadership? Well, I'm going to talk about leadership later on, but thought leadership is when your thoughts make others change their thoughts, or when your thought causes someone to follow your thoughts. Give you an example of a famous quotation. Anyone? A famous quotation that you really believe in. What? I want to laugh too. Come on, Asankhya, what is the reason? for that laughter. Okay, I'm surprised. What's going on, guys? I mean, I have no idea. What is it? What is it? What are some of these answers?
No answers yet.
No answers yet. You know what, Asankhya? I think you should be sharing the screen and then I can see what's
All right.
going
Okay.
on in the chat window. So I'm going to stop presenting to see if that makes any difference. And stop. And then I will know what's going on in all people's minds and their heads and what they are doing, if that makes it any better. Okay, so there are many. So I like what Sneha has written. You have to dream before your dreams come true. Wonderful. I think that's something that is very important. Where there is a dream, there is a way. Sometimes the smallest step in your life come up, and the biggest step in your life tiptoe. If you must, if you must take the steps, says Jatin. I think something from the movies, which I feel is very important. That I think is a very important thought leadership example for me is with great power comes great responsibility. How many of you have heard about that? Which film is that from? Anyone? With great power comes great responsibility. Anyone? Any guesses? Kushagra is thinking, ye kya ho raha hai? What is this? What is this Ayan talking about? He's smiling now. Spider-Man, yes, Spider-Man. How many of you have seen at least some Spider-Man? Something, maybe in Avengers, maybe the original ones when I was your age, because I was also your age at a long time back. That's when the first Spider-Man came out when I was in college. But Spider-Man, an example of a thought that changes. So when Uncle Ben said, with great power comes great responsibility, Peter Parker did not know about it, and then his thoughts changed. That's Stan Lee, of course, who came up with that quote, the creator of Spider-Man. But thought leadership is something that changes your ways of thinking, right? And makes a lot of difference. Asankhya, would you like to share or I'll share? Whatever works. I think I'll share it then since I'm done with this.
I'll share it. I'll share it.
Okay, thanks. So you actually can do all of that when you start mastering creative writing. But just mastering creative writing is not enough. Just taking that dupki is not enough. You have to do a little bit more. So what is that little bit more that we have to do? You will see on your screens right now. And Asankhya, if it's taking time, I can share as well. It's completely fine. I think I'll share because it's quicker. Just a moment. There's so many things happening. And slideshow from current slide. All right, so we talked about this. So what's next? Well, what's next is you have to interpret the truth about effective communication. Taking all that water and getting deep into the water is great, but then you have to analyze and interpret, just kind of see how to take that forward. How many of you have done experiments at school? Biology, किसी ने पढ़ा है? याद है, कुछ याद है? क्या होता था beakers में? Etc. So we were trying to interpret and find out what are the constituents of that liquid, etc., etc. So we have to then remember the DIP. D was for deep dive. I is for interpret. Interpret the truth about effective communication. Now, please understand. To be able to express and impress at will is an example of effective communication, especially when it happens seamlessly and with little to no effort. So if you want to be effective in a group discussion, not only do you have to know the content and know about what the industry is looking at, know about what is there, you have to also effectively communicate whatever you know so that others know that you know. And for that, you have to recognize the three pillars of communication. The first pillar of communication is listen. It's very important that you listen for need and envision the future. This is a very important pillar of communication. Listen for need and envision the future. So when you are able to grasp as to what they want, you will be able to give them what they need. Next, watch. So during a group discussion, watch out for audience response. The audience can be the other panelists. The audience can be the other people in the discussion, the other competitors, so to speak. So watch out for audience response. See what kind of response people are doing. Don't just look at the people asking the question or the panels. Watch out for everything that is happening around you. And third, speak. For the sake of the good Lord, to be able to do well in a group discussion, you have to speak. Now, there are 2 points of view. Some people feel that if a group discussion is happening and you speak the most, you do well. It's not right. You have to speak right to make the future bright. If you want to have a bright future, if you want to get the job, you cannot just speak rubbish, just speaking anything that comes to your mind. Speak sense, speak sensibility, and speak at the right time, at the right place in a dignified manner. Okay? So listen, watch, and speak. These are the 3 pillars of communication that you have to remember to be able to successfully clear a group discussion. Okay? Now, the second thing you have to interpret, which is very, very important, is congruency of communication. So congruency of communication means when you're speaking, what you're saying and what you're thinking are all aligned with each other. Sab ek hi matra ke hai. So when people speak to us, we absorb a mere 7% of what they are saying through the words they use. So content, my dear students, is only 7%. Then remaining 38% is voice modulation, which includes tone, inflection, falana, dinkana. Finally, 55% of the meaning comes from body language, which includes gestures, posture, and other physical cues. So as per psychologist Albert Mehrabian, content is only 7%. And the remaining 93% is a combination of body language and voice modulation. So if you want to come across as saying what you really mean, you have to do that. Now, how many of you find this difficult? You've never heard about this. How many of you are like that? You find it like ये कैसे हो सकता है? कौन है एल्बर्ट मेहराबियन? ये सब क्या फॉर्मूला है? कहाँ से आया है? हम क्यों विश्वास करें? If you're thinking like that, I will have a demonstration for you. Okay? Let's have a demonstration. To be able to do the demonstration, I would need some of you to volunteer and to speak with us right now. So I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to ask you to say one particular line, which I'm going to post in the chat window in your mother tongue. Okay? Matribhasha Zindabad. What is that line? I did not say he stole the chocolate. इसको हिंदी में बोलो, बांग्ला में बोलो, तेलुगु में बोलो, जो चाहते हो बोलो. But you have to say this line. Is that clear, students? This is the line. I did not say he stole the chocolate. Okay? Now, how many people can speak in a language apart from English? Any other mother tongue we have? Can we ask, can we give them the opportunity to come on camera? Kushagra, Shankar Saxena, if they raise their hands or do something. Or maybe Simarji.
Yes, sir. You can ask
Simarji has access. Yes. Who wants to go first? How many languages do we have? Can we have some languages, please? I did not say he stole the chocolate. मतलब come on यार, कुछ तो भाषा आती होगी. कुशाग्रा, तुम्हें कौन सी भाषा आती है? Telugu. Paitu Raja Shekhar says Telugu. Come on, let's start. Tapan Chandra says Uriya. Rohan Sunil says Malayalam. I love it. And Dhananjay says Hindi. So we are taking these 4 right now. Marathi says Achal. Kush Agarwal says Punjabi. Balle Balle. I like that. Abhi मतलब खुल के आ रहा है सब कुछ. So let's try to speak in these languages one after another. Okay. So give me a language that has not come. So the first person who has volunteered is Vaidi Rajasekhar, who's going to speak this in Telugu. Can we have a round of applause for Mr. Shekhar, please? Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Can we?
I'm
okay.
visible.
You're audible and visible. Yes.
In Telugu, నేను దొంగతనం చేయలేదు చాక్లెట్ ని.
నేను దొంగతనం చేయలేను chocolate ని. Right?
నేను చాక్లెట్ దొంగతనం చేయలేదు.
La la la. Okay, wonderful. Can you have a round of applause for him? All right. That's Telugu. That was like a Bahubali way of saying it. I love that. I love that. Okay, let's have it from Tapan Chandra Malik in Uriya. Thank you so much. Come on, everyone, be ready. You're going to go next. I did not say he stole the chocolate. Koi hai?
So, yes. So in Odia, we say like this. ମୁଁ କହୁଛି କି ସେ chocolate ଚୋରି କରେନି.
Mo kohochi ki she chocolate chori kore. Oh, get the rasgullas right now. How sweet. Can we have a round of applause for Tapan, please? Well done, Tapan. It sounded something like la 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 la. You know, something like that, if you don't understand the language. Rohan Sunil, Malayalam. Rohan, where is Rohan?
Yes. Hello.
Yes, Rohan, go on.
Yeah, in Malayalam we say ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞില്ല അവൻ മുട്ടായി മോഷ്ടിച്ചു എന്ന്.
Name Pardlela, what was that? Name Pardlela Avam?
ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞില്ല
Yan Paranilla
അവൻ മുട്ടായി
Avan
അവൻ മുട്ടായി
Mutai
മോഷ്ടിച്ചു എന്ന്.
Mushtichu Inte. Nan Paranilla Avan Mutai Mushtitu Inte. Okay, I'm trying, but can we have a round of applause for Rohan? That was very nice. La la la. I only know one Malayalam word, which is Madi. You know, enough. And I think that was good enough, Rohan. So thank you. Any Marathi? We'll come to Hindi a little later, Dhananjay. Marathi, Achal from Computer Science Engineering.
Sir, in Marathi we will say like मी नाही म्हटलं की याने चॉकलेट चोरी केली.
मी nehai matla ki nane chocolate chori. What?
केली.
Kelly. Okay, well done. Thank you. Thank you, Achal. A round of applause for Achal. That sounded like la 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 la. You know, something like that. Punjabi, Kush Agarwal. Before we go to Dhananjay for Hindi, Punjabi में कुछ हो जाए?
मैंने कहा भी उन्हें चॉकलेट चोरी कितनी है.
मैंने कहा ने इन्होंने chocolate चोरी कितनी है. Okay, I'm also not saying. And we have a round of applause for Punjabi. Well done. Any other regional language, or should we go to Dhananjay for Hindi? My Maithili, Sneha Nalinikant, right? Jha Sneha Nalinikant. Yes, Maithili में कुछ हो जाए. Sneha, where are you? I'm just looking at Kushagra's eyes, okay? He's like constantly going from here to there. कहाँ है, कौन है, क्या करूँ मैं, क्या चल रहा है? Sneha, मैथिली में कुछ आएगा? Where is Sneha? Sneha, is she there?
Yes. Yeah, am I audible, sir?
Now you are audible, Sneha. Go on.
हमने कह लिए कि वो चॉकलेट चुरा के.
हमने कहली के वो chocolate चुराल के. Okay, close enough. Can we have a round of applause for Sneha? Well done. And finally, Dhananjay, Hindi.
मैंने ये नहीं कहा कि इसने चॉकलेट चुराया.
मैंने ये नहीं कहा कि इसने chocolate चुराया. Thank you. La 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 la. All right. Everyone said that. Now I'm going to again ask. Asankhya, are we ready? Can you start sharing? Or should I share? This is question of the day. You know, all the time you're asking about whether we can share. All right. Oh, quickly go to slideshow mode. Okay, so congruency of communication. Now, what happens in English is, in English, we do not speak the way we speak our regional languages, because we have to use something called word stress. Let's take this example. Is it possible to go back? Yeah. Is it possible to have both the screens next to each other, like the video and the PPT? Kushagra, can you do that? Okay, while that happens, let's take the first examples. Go back, wait. I did not say he stole the chocolate. मैंने नहीं बोला. I did not say he stole the chocolate. You know, that means I did not say it. Second, Asankhya. I did not say he stole the chocolate. मैंने नहीं बोला. Vehement denial, you know, like sunny Del and no grass will ever grow. Now, what's the third one? I did not say he stole the chocolate. Maybe I thought about it. Are you Professor Snape? Can you read my mind? Next. I did not say he stole the chocolate. Maybe Asankhya did. I did not say he did it. You know, maybe it was someone else. Different meaning. I did not say he stole the chocolate. Maybe he borrowed it with the intention of never returning, but I did not say he stole the chocolate. Next. I did not say he stole the Amul dark chocolate. Not that one. Maybe some dairy milk. I did not say he stole the chocolate. Last. I did not say he stole the chocolate. Maybe he stole the cocoa powder, the butter, the eggs, and the milk, but not the chocolate. So do you see how the meaning is changing simply because we are focusing on a different word? So that is the power of voice modulation. If you do it well, everything changes. You can have the same sentence and you can do anything and everything. Of course, we need to have a detailed workshop on voice modulation, and we can do that if you are a Toastmaster. But for the time being, we'll have to move on to the next point. The next point is, in a group discussion, please understand you have to come across as someone who understands the three whys. What are the three whys? The first why is why this. Asankhya? Why are you talking about this? Of course, because you're in a group discussion, but what is your opinion on this? Second, why me? What point of view are you bringing in? So the organization is looking at you as an individual, not you as an encyclopedia. Why this? Why me? And finally, why now? Be very careful. Why are you talking about this now? In a group discussion, there are multiple people saying multiple things. You have to know when to speak, what to speak. You cannot just say something. Like someone says something, you say, yes, I absolutely agree, and then just repeat it. No. But a conversation is about to end, you cannot bring in a new point. So the timing becomes very important. Why this? Why me? Why now? So of course, please understand it is your opinion. So a group discussion is mostly about your opinion. It is not a kaun banega crorepati show. Okay. It is more of a kyunki saas bhi kabhi bahu thi. And please understand, the people who are coming to interview you, they want you to be successful. They are here, they've spent so much money to take the best people. So ensure you're able to answer the three whys of why this, why me, why now in a group discussion. So finally, we go to the last part of our presentation. After you've interpreted all of this, that is perform. Perform, discuss despite the obstacles. Go back, Asankhya. So now, for a lot of you, the group discussions I know can seem very daunting, very difficult, as if you're climbing a mountain. How many of you find group discussions to be uncomfortable or scary or something you're afraid of? Can you mention why? Yes, Simarpreet Singh has raised his hand. I can see Om Kaushal has raised his hand. Who else? Mr. Bajrang has raised his hand. Rohan Sunil and 3 others. Jatin Sahu and 4 others. So many people are raising their hands. So obviously we find it difficult. Those who are not raising, congratulations, you're very good. But you need to perform despite the obstacles. The obstacles can be anything. Day is not right, your head is not working, something is going wrong. The other ones are better in the discussion. So you don't know what to say, how to say. Dhananjay says, yes, he's also a part of this. So how do you perform despite the obstacles? Asankhya, if you can go to the next slide. So what you have to do is you have to understand the power of impromptu speaking. Now, group discussion, however you think, whatever you think, it's nothing but an extension of impromptu speaking. And you have to understand the power of impromptu speaking. So impromptu speaking is speaking off the cuff or speaking on the spot, speaking even though you might not be completely prepared on a subject. That's impromptu speaking. Where were you is impromptu speaking. Why are you late for class is impromptu speaking. Am I looking fat is impromptu speaking. So impromptu speaking, how can it help you? Impromptu speaking can improve your oral expression of thought. Now, obviously, I know you know. We all know that we are educated enough, we know. But to be able to express it orally in a discussion format is what can be improved by impromptu speaking. Next. Impromptu speaking can help develop your confidence in public speaking. Now, please understand the discussion is not happening at home. Ki aaj kya banega, poha ki dosa. It's not like that. Impromptu, this is not your mom asking you what you want for breakfast. This is not your dad asking you whether you got the dhania for free. No. This is about developing your confidence in public speaking. So in a group discussion, what is very, very important is confidence. If you come across as someone who's unsure, who doesn't know, then it doesn't work. You have to appear as someone who is confident. Next point, Asankhya. It can help you think quickly on your feet. So obviously you have to understand, you have to be very, very agile. No one is going to give you an opportunity. Okay, now what do you want to say? No one has the time. So in a lot of group discussions, if you miss out on speaking at the right time, your chance is gone. You may or may not get an option. It's not a panel discussion, it's a group discussion. A question may or may not come to you, and you may or may not get control of the discussion. So impromptu speaking can help you think quickly on your feet and finally help you develop leadership and communication skills. Yes, Asankhya. Remember I told you about thought leadership earlier? So impromptu speaking can help you develop leadership and communication skills. Now, obviously communication skills, yes. But why leadership skills? I have a question for you. A leader is someone who has dash. If I ask you this question, what is dash? A leader is someone who has dash. ये dash क्या है? What is this? A leader is someone who has what? If you choose one word, what will you say? Confidence. Simarpreet, that's good, but may not be confidence. Pavani Gupta, confidence may or may not be with a leader. Awareness may or may not be with a leader. If someone has awareness, it's not necessary that person is a leader. Empathy, maybe you're just a good person. By this quality, you will know whether that person is a leader. So yes, empathy is an important characteristic of a leader, but just if someone has empathy, you cannot determine whether they are a leader. Vision, no. Team spirit is two word. Communication skill is two word, no. Expressive, no. It can be a dancer, could be very expressive. Responsible, very close to the right answer. Leader is someone who has responsibility, very close to the right answer, but no. Someone is responsible, has responsibility, nothing to do with leader. The right answer is followers. No, Simarpreet says a leader is someone who has leadership skills. Oh my God, Simar, you are like the Simar of the Ekta Kapoor serial. A leader is a very intelligent answer, by the way. Leader is someone who has leadership skills. You know, that reminded me when I was in class 8, the history teacher asked, what is the name of Tipu Sultan's wife? And one student stood up and said, Mrs. Tipu Sultan. Fearless. The answer is followers. If there are no followers, how can you be a leader? I'm not talking about who's a good leader or a bad leader. Okay. For example, how many of you have heard this song? Maine selfie le liya aaj, sar pe maine rakh di taaj. Or what was that? Diloka scooter, something, something. Okay, we have all heard that. Dingchak Puja, by the way, who has a lot of followers, but not the kind of leader you want to be. Yes, Jatin, Dingchak Puja. So now you have to be the right kind of leader, you know, the kind of thought leadership person. So impromptu speaking can really help you in becoming that kind of leader. Why? Because you're able to guide people at the right time, at the right place. Imagine going to a doctor for consultation and the doctor says, and you're like, oh, doctor, I have a pain in my head. Ah, bahut dard ho raha hai. Peet mein bhi dard ho raha hai. And the doctor says, all right. Okay, Alexa, the patient has pain in his leg. What should we do? By the way, my Alexa is getting triggered, so I have to be careful. You'll never go to the doctor again. Alexa, pause. Oh my God, Alexa is giving answers. See. Notification. Do you want to hear it? No, Alexa, please pause. Okay, so you will know I'm a rich doctor. I'm able to afford an Alexa, but in real life, you don't need all of that. Imagine going to an army person. Sir, we have been attacked. Sir, what do you do? Okay, let me open the almanac of 1001 ways to win a war. Bam! Bomb falls and everyone dies. You have to be able to take quick decisions, and the power of impromptu speaking is something that can help you with that. Asankhya, next line. Next slide. So impromptu speaking, what can go wrong? So in a group discussion, when you're trying to speak impromptu, trying to speak on the spot, even though you've read all about the company and everything, it might be a question you are not prepared for. So what can go wrong? Go back, you've given the answer, Asankhya, I'm going to kill you. Hold on. So students, what can go wrong? Can we have some answers? We have 14 minutes left. Let's make it worth it. And we are on slide 14. What can go wrong in a group discussion? You can speak or you can type in the chat. No, it's not listening. See, that was the trick. No, Simarpreet, it's not listening. No, it's not listening. What can go wrong? No, not that. But what can go wrong? What do you think can go wrong in impromptu speaking? Thought can go wrong? No, just your experiences. You may not understand. You may deviate from the topic. Yes, you may deviate from the topic. What else can happen? Your interpretation of the topic can be wrong. Maybe you don't know anything on the topic, right? It's possible. You may think you can prepare, but you might not be. Maybe you're scared of talking. There's so many people you're scared. When will you speak? Repetition of points. Someone said your point earlier than you. Yes, Yash Tarwani, that's correct. Yes, all of these things can go wrong. So many things can go wrong, okay? But there's certain things that if you do, things will go right. And the first thing is listening. Asankhya, can we go to the next slide? So listen. A good response is dependent on an attentive attitude, and careful listening can provide a key part of your response. How? Next point. If you agree or reflect, you will be able to Reinforce the other person's word. If you disagree, you can tactfully amend or correct the original statement. So someone says something and you say, I agree, and you add some more points. That's good. Or you say, I do not completely agree with that point, and bring in your own point. So these are the kind of things that you have to showcase in a group discussion. Apart from that, if you're listening, you will be able to sharpen your powers of concentration to become an effective speaker. Please understand, do not put in your own thoughts, do not interject your own ideas before the other speaker has finished. Instead, focus on what is being said. See, a lot of times the mistake we did is we only look at the panelists. Ke panelist kya soch raha hai, kya bol raha hai. But we have to look at everyone. The other students also are speaking. So you have to see what they are saying and try to showcase that you also know something on the topic and not just blatantly some rubbish. Okay. So listening is very important. The second thing that you have to do, second tip, watch out and pause. So watch out for what? Watch out for audience response to see if you're on the right track. I did mention this briefly before. Listen for need and envision the future, and so on and so forth. And watching out for audience response is very important. Pausing at the right time is important, because if you pause, you will be able to refresh your thoughts. Obviously, in a group discussion, that is the same time when someone else will jump in and try to speak something. So it can go both ways. And you can add pause to add drama, allow the audience to absorb your message or give them the opportunity to respond to humor, but cannot be a long pause. If it's a long pause, someone else will jump in. So be very careful about when to add pause, when not to add pause. And remember, a silent pause is preferable to using verbal placeholders. Like, like, so, basically, actually, etc., etc. So do not use verbal placeholders, okay? Like crutch words. Next slide, Asankhya. Finally, tell, for the sake of the good Lord, oof, speak. Next, be enthusiastic, but stay focused and stick to the essentials. Next point, don't give in the urge to analyze every aspect of the topic. Obviously, the group discussion is for everyone, not you alone. So don't analyze every aspect of the topic. Analyze something that hasn't been talked about. And finally, end. Know when to end. So extra points are given to people who can summarize. Extra points are given to people who can come up with interesting observations. Extra points are given to people who start, yes, but also to people who end. If you end up strongly, even if you have nothing to add, even if you summarize, so, I would like to take the opportunity to summarize, and you actually summarize, then the interviewer will know that you are paying attention. Once you have said what you want to say, do not belabor the point. Just wait to see if you get an opportunity to summarize. If you get an opportunity to summarize, it's a great way to get additional brownie points. Next. Bring your comments to a close, emphasize your main point, smile, and make eye contact with your listener if possible. Now, making eye contact can also be creepy if I look like this all the time. Yes, sir, I'm very much interested in getting this job, sir. The person will think you're some psycho and never take you. Also, smiling unnecessarily. Yeah, unless you're Joker and it's an audition for Batman and Joker, don't. So know when to smile, when not to smile, when to have eye contact, when not to have eye contact. Just genuinely shift eye contact between different people. Talk to someone and say, yes, I believe this is it. Look at the other students also. Talk to the interviewer also. So understand, you have to make it as natural as possible. Okay. Next point. Know where you stand. Now, please understand that whenever a topic comes to you, group discussion topic, it can be a simple topic, a medium topic, or a difficult topic. So today we will have an example in which a simple, medium, and difficult topic will be given to you. And after the demonstration by Asankhya, through table topics, I will tell you exactly why you should change your stance based on whether you know the topic or not. So the first one, if you don't know anything on the topic, what do? You at least have to say something. Okay. The second one, if you know something on the topic, what do? It's like a medium topic as per you. You have to come up with very unusual pop culture references. And the third one, if you know everything on the topic, if everyone agrees, you have to disagree. If everyone disagrees, you have to agree. You have to go against the flow to stand out. So know where you stand. I will have a demonstration of this during the table topics, during the impromptu speaking part. 1 second. Asankhya, remind me to come back to this and explain to them where they stand. Okay. Next. 3 tips to race ahead. Be confident. Next. Be sincere. And be brief. Okay, so be confident. Remind yourself that pausing is okay. Restating the question will help you steady the response. If you do not know, don't jump in. It's easy to stray off topic and begin repeating statements, adding new points or backtracking. Stick to your main points. And finally, be sincere. Trying to be inventive when you don't know the answer to a question can be risky. It is better that you admit if you don't know how to respond. If they ask you what programming languages do you know, you have said Python. Someone says Python, so doesn't mean you have to come and say Nagin. I know Nagin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't be dumb. Unless of course it's an interview for Ekta Kapoor's Nagin 7, which I don't think it will be. So please don't add ridiculous, useless point and be sincere. If you don't know, you don't know. So that's what it is. So practice makes perfect. Can we quickly see what we have to do? Think, ask before doing any task. Next, we prepare, listen, learn, and only then speak, and finally rehearse. Practice to make it perfect. So practice makes perfect. And how can you practice and how can you make things perfect? Well, I have just the thing for you as to how you can practice and make things perfect. Next slide, please. You have to enable the audio, Asankhya. Okay, I'll do that. I'll share. I'll share. May I please? So know where you stand, be confident, be brief, be sincere, but finally practice makes perfect. Think, prepare, and rehearse. And one of the best ways to think, prepare, and rehearse is Toastmasters International. Let me tell you a little bit about Toastmasters International through this short video.
Toastmasters International is a nonprofit organization that has helped millions around the globe build confidence with public speaking. Since 1924, our Learn by Doing program will give you improved communication, public speaking, and leadership skills, all while building confidence for your next big presentation, whether it's in person or online. From those looking to change the world to those just looking to give a boost to their career, we know how to help. Build confidence in you. Visit toastmasters.org/find to connect with one of our over 16,000 clubs, meeting online or in person.
All right, so what happens in a typical Toastmasters meeting is there are three sections. The first is a prepared speech section, in which a member delivers a prepared speech from an allocated project from Pathways. That's our educational program. Next is table topics. A member delivers an impromptu speech on a topic provided on the spot. And finally, evaluation, in which a team of role players evaluate the entire meeting. So at this stage, I'm going to ask you if you have any questions. And if there are no questions, I'm going to say thank you and end the sharing. So does anyone have any questions? Yes, no, maybe. Yes. Okay, I think we have 4 minutes left for the questions. If there are no questions, I can take the questions later on as well. But I think it's time for you to get a little idea of what impromptu speaking or table topics is in Toastmasters. And I think this will also help you prepare for your group discussions. So to be able to take that section forward, I have someone very special with me. This is Asankhya Vishwamohan, who is joining us virtually all the way from Lucknow and is going to be presenting right now. And Asankhya, you can smile a little bit more. Kushagra, you can also smile a little bit more. Don't worry, we will not give you things you don't want to hear. But you have to be participative. If you have questions, if you need answers, let us know. And before you start, because there are 3 minutes still left, I would just like to tell you, Toastmasters International, you can read about it, is there across 144 plus countries. We have 16,000 plus clubs. And we have already helped more than 3 million people worldwide. So I'm a part of IBM, of course. I'm sure you've heard about it. So about 300 of all 500 Fortune 500 companies have at least one Toastmasters club. You know, institutions, organizations like IBM, Cognizant, Accenture, TCS, all of that have Toastmasters clubs. The IIMs and IITs have Toastmasters clubs. The Harvard universities and Oxford universities and the Stanford universities have Toastmasters club. We meet once or twice every month, maybe 4 times every month, depends, to prepare speeches, deliver speeches, speak impromptu on topics on the spot, and evaluate, which is the heart and soul of every meeting. So we're going to do a little bit of that right now, and over to you, Asankhya, to take things forward. Thank you so much, students. I'm going to be back soon.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Ayan Pal. Before we proceed, I would like to check with with Kushagra if we are good to go. Can we proceed with the table topic session, the impromptu speaking session? That's what we have in mind. Yeah. Kushagra, if you can confirm.
Yes, sir, we can go.
Thank you so much. And can we have a huge round of applause for our speaker, distinguished Toastmaster Ayan, who is the district director for this entire Northeast India, Nepal, Bangladesh, Bhutan region. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ayan, for joining us and enriching us with how specifically when it comes to group discussion, what the underlying message that I understood from your keynote today was how be it an interview or be it a group discussion per se, it's nothing but impromptu speaking at the end of the day. And that's what we have in the next half an hour or so, wherein we want to give you an understanding as to how an impromptu speaking or any sort of Toastmaster Ayan, your screen is still being shared. If you can maybe unshare your screen. Yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry.
No problem.
I'm not able to for some reason. Can you just remove my access?
All right.
I'm trying to.
In that
Stop
case, sir,
presenting.
there
Yeah, I've
is
done.
a
I've done.
cross.
Yeah, I think I've done stop presenting, but I'm not sure if you're able to still see. Does it work?
Yeah. I'm not able to see it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So sorry for that.
Thank you so much. And now to proceed further, like in life, we are getting a lot of opportunities to, we can say, we rarely get opportunities to, you can say, deliver prepared speeches, but we are sure put in a lot of instances like group discussion or interviews as such, wherein we have to think on our feet, wherein we have to speak impromptu on a given day or at a given time or in a given situation. So that's what we have, ladies and gentlemen, in the store, wherein we would give you an understanding, we would give you a flavor as to how impromptu speaking segment or spontaneity in today's day and age is the way to go forward, how that helps and how that is something that wherein you can work upon. What I have in the next half an hour is wherein you can volunteer for a specific topic. You would have to speak over that topic for at least 1 minute to at max 2.5 minutes. We have a dedicated timer who will be guiding you as to how much time you have taken and how much time you have left. Like the timer will be showing you a green card at 1 minute and a yellow card at 1.5 minutes and a red card at 2 minutes. Just to reiterate, minimum 1 minute you have to speak. At max, you can speak for 2.5 minutes. You have a buffer time of 30 seconds once the red card is up. So that's all from my end. I would encourage anyone from the audience who would like to basically take the initiative and start the impromptu speaking segment. An experience as to how, or you can say how this can be beneficial for you. We have something in store for you.
Just to add to what Asankhya is saying, see, we can tell you everything. We can teach you all the theory. We can show you here is the Ganges, but you have to take the dip. Dubki to aapko hi manna hai. You have to take the dip of faith, and you have to prepare. You have to prepare to excel. So just try this out today, and I'm sure you will find out what are your strong points and what are the points you can improve upon, and so on and so forth. And if any of that doesn't happen, Asankhya, I will just keep demonstrating to them as the impromptu speaking and how they can handle the 3 different kinds of topics that come their way. Okay.
Surely, Toastmaster Ayan. So, do I see any volunteer? Anyone who would like to take a lead? You can put your name in the chat box.
Yeah, we have one.
Sneha has volunteered. Thank you, Sneha, for taking the initiative. Can we have a round of applause for Sneha? So Sneha, I'll be giving you some counterintuitive topics. The idea is to put you on a spot and see as to how you fare and how you deliver. You can take 5-10 seconds to think about it at max, but I'll suggest you start as soon as possible, as soon as you gather your thoughts. And with your first verbal or non-verbal gesture, the timer will start the timing. So Sneha, the topic for you is, if we can have you on camera, Sneha, if possible. Thank you so much. So Sneha, the topic for you is a line is a dot that went for a walk. A line is a dot that went for a walk. Sneha.
Okay. So, line is a set of points that are connected continuously with each other, and after that they are made. And with this statement, it's trying to say that all one line adjacent to it is connected, and they are making a line. And one can also uh, relate this with uh, life, where means we are connecting so many points, and then we are going to some way or forming one line of life. uh, and in by also like similarly like that, when so many lines connects, we make a area or a two dimensional thing. So more and bigger dimensions forms just by connecting a small thing like dot. Sorry.
Anything, Sneha, that you might want to add here?
Um, Nothing else.
No
Nothing.
problem. Thank you so much, Sneha, for taking the initiative and starting the impromptu speaking segment. I hope this gave you an idea as to how this will go on. I'll try to come up with similar topics, and this will be something wherein you can also see as to where you fare and how you do when you are put on a spot as such. So, anyone else who would like to volunteer and take up a topic?
I
Yes,
will
well tried.
evaluate Sneha at the end, I believe. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
plan, right?
Yes, yes. So anyone else? I'll just mention something that we have something in store for you as well. Like Simarpreet has raised his hand. Simarpreet, if you can have you on video.
Sorry, sir, I won't be able to turn on my camera.
No problem, no problem. So Simarpreet, the topic for you will be, so again, just to reiterate, at least 1 minute. When the green card is up, that's a green card cue that your 1 minute is over. And at max, you can speak for 2.5 minutes, even after 30 seconds after the red card is up. That's the time limit. And the topic for you, Simarpreet, will be, yes, the topic, Simarpreet, for you is, why is pizza box square while pizza is round? Why is pizza box square while pizza is round? Simarpreet, over to you.
Pizza box is a round, should have been round, but I believe that the square one enables us to be able to easily carry the pizza box. But then it also takes a lot of area and volume, due to which we waste a lot of paper and cardboard. And in the world where we are supposed to save paper and not cut trees, I guess pizza box dimensions should definitely have been reduced. But then again, pizza is something unique because of its shape only. But we could have had a pizza with the shape of rectangle itself and cut across the four diagonals. We could have obtained the four pieces of, or slices, maybe we would be calling it. By then, pizza box shape is a great topic of discussion, a debate I have started feeling as of now. But yeah, I'm done.
Thank you so much, Simarpreet, for that take of yours. Can we have a round of applause for Simarpreet? Next up, anyone else would like to volunteer? Who would like to come up next? So the topics are simple, not that difficult, if you see. So
And
who
you
would be?
cannot predict topics in group discussions. You may think you can, but anything can be given to you.
Oh my god.
Who can you come again? Anyone? I just thought anyone spoke. Is anyone trying to volunteer? Anyone? If you can turn on your video or you can raise your hand for us to make it out. Yes, I can see Jatin. Jatin, thank you, Jatin, for taking a lead. And if you can turn on your video.
Sir, video, I can try.
All right.
Yes.
Is okay. Okay. I think it's still. I can say thank you so much for turning on the video, Jatin. The topic for you is. So, do you like music, Jatin?
Yes.
Okay, so the topic for you is if music can be seen, how will your favorite song look like? If music can be seen, how will your favorite song look like? Jatin.
If music can be seen, my favorite song look like a life. It has it has many scales and many instruments are used in songs. So we can see life. We can see song as a life. There are many ups and downs, and many instruments are used. If we seen instruments, uh, it is not like to say that, but this uh, they our surroundings peoples they sorry, our surrounding peoples help us to create a music, better music, by giving their contribution just like instruments. And uh, and throughout the then after this all contribution, the song is completed, then everyone is like the song because they have many variations, many contributions. And a good song can be listened, can be can be listened to everyone, and uh, they all appreciate the song. Okay, sorry, I'm not able to communicate.
No, you are going very well. You can take it forward. Anything that you might want to add?
Okay.
No problem. Thank you so much, Jatin, for taking it a shot. It takes courage to come up on the stage and you can say in front of an audience of 20, 30, 40 people and uh, put yourself at spot. So that itself is, I
I
can
have
say, an
one
act of
suggestion
courage. Yeah.
for Asankhya and Jatin. So maybe you could have just removed your virtual background. I think that's causing it to be so strange. Your face is vanishing due to the light or something. But anyway, no problem. Let's get started.
I will try.
No problem. You can come back and then we will know. Because you're like, it's perfect, much better now. See? Anyway,
Yes.
Asankhya, over to you. I can now
Thank
see
you.
Jatin smiling finally.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jatin. Thank you for taking a topic. Next up, do we have anyone who would like to volunteer? Take up a topic? Yeah, I can see someone has raised. Anyone would like to take it forward? The floor is open. You can volunteer. Experience Toastmasters. I'll just mention that there is something as a, you can say that you will experience or after the topic after you have delivered towards the end, we'll try to give you a flavor of Toastmasters as well after the session is done. And as to how that will happen, we'll come to that. But first you will have to volunteer for it. Do
I
I
think
see
if there are no
anyone?
volunteers, we will start off with that. We have 18 minutes left.
Right.
That might take some time.
Right. So and one last topic. If anyone wants to go ahead, this is your chance.
Manvi Kumar.
Manvi wants to take it. All right. So thank you, Manvi, for taking up a topic. If you can turn on your video. Yes.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, Manvi, I can hear you clearly. The topic for you is Junk food is healthy. Toastmaster Manvi. Junk food is healthy. Toastmaster Manvi. The stage is all yours.
I can only see three people on camera. One is table topic master and other one is speaker and one is organizer. So I'll ask from you, do you like junk food? Please give a raise up. That smiles you people have gave me the answer. Junk food is something that we all love. And how many of you actually get a scolding from your parents for eating so much junk food whenever you are with friends? Please give a raise up. That's exactly what happens in our life. What we love is not healthy. And what is healthy is something that is not according to our taste. Junk food is one of them. Other is internet surfing. And there are many other things. So coming back to the topic, junk food includes vegetable. A burger has vegetable. Chili potato has vegetable. Even pizza has vegetable. Then how can a junk food not be considered as a healthy food? And why is it a not so good option for having it in snacks or maybe in breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Why we always get a scolding whenever we eat junk? The reason is we like those things that are not good for our health. The ingredients that are used in that are not good for us. May it be the chemicals used, may it be the ingredients that are there in it, or may it be the oil in which it is fried. We all know it causes calories, it increases our weight, and it even increases. There are many diseases that are caused because of it. Junk food is a healthy option, but what according to us is healthy is not good for our health. So try avoiding the junk food, whoever raise your hands, and try moving to the food that is cooked in your home, that is suggested by your parents and not according to your taste. Same happens with us in life as well. What we want is not good for us. What is good for us is something we don't like. So give it a thought with a neutral mind and go for what is right for you. May it be junk food, may it be a healthy food, may it be surfing on internet, or may it be trusting people or anything in life. So, table topic master, do you think junk food is healthy or you would love to be scolded by your parents? Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Manvi. Well, I after this, I do feel junk food is healthy. So thank you so much for that, and thank you so much everyone for being a patient audience, for volunteering and taking up experiencing as to how you can say impromptu speaking can be beneficial, or how you can basically be better at impromptu speaking as well. Now, what we have in store for you, as I mentioned earlier as well, is something just to give you an insight as to how you can work upon it, the feedback on not on you, but on the take that you presented today, the speech that you delivered today, the positives, the commendations, the recommendations. To tell you about that, we have none other than distinguished Toastmaster Ayan Pal, who would be sharing some insights, his 2 cents on each of your respective speeches. Over to you, Toastmaster Ayan, once again, to share some insights on that part.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Asankhya Vishwamohan. Let's start off with Sneha, who heard the topic, a line is a dot that went for a walk. Is Sneha there? Can she come on camera?
Yes.
All right, Sneha. I think you got the topic because of your virtual background, which had so many balls and so many dots and stuff like that. What I liked about Sneha is you kind of got the meaning of the topic. This is not an easy topic. When I was giving you the three bulbs as an example, this is probably a tough topic. But you used it well. You started off talking about it and then you just kind of lost the flow and you did not know how to summarize. But more importantly, Sneha, remember I told words are only 7% and 93 is body language and voice modulation. This beautiful smile that I can see at that time, what you gave us was a nervous smile. So even though you were speaking sense, it seemed like you were nervous. There wasn't a lot of facial expressions justifying your point. You had a few touch words like you used 3 times, and so on. And you used some long pauses. So line is a dot with that went for a walk, Sneha. I think you handled it well. I just wish you had a beautiful opening and a wonderful conclusion so that it could have been a complete speech by itself. As a group discussion, please understand when you're trying to speak like this, when you're not very confident, it is worse than not speaking also. Because then they will know that you're not confident. So speak only when you're confident and when you have something relevant to say. So if the topic can come to you, you can handle it in different ways. For example, you can say line is a dot that went for a walk. You said a dot is made up of like small lines. But in life, when you're able to connect the dots, you will be able to go for a walk or take it beyond the actual meaning. See if you can bring in more meanings to it. In a group discussion, you will be measured also for your creativity, unless, of course, it's a very technical subject that is given to you. How creatively you can handle a subject determines whether or not you will be able to move to the next round. So well tried, Sneha, and I wish you all the very best. Can we have a round of applause for Sneha, please? Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You are welcome. And then we had Simarpreet Singh. Why is pizza box square while pizzas are round? Where is Simarpreet?
Yes, sir.
Can I have, you were not on camera, but I think Simarpreet,
Yes, sir.
you had an interesting topic. I've always wondered why is it that pizzas come in a square box, though they are circular, and then we have to eat them as triangles. I think a pizza box is a complete demonstration of the power of geometry in our lives, and anyone who studies geometry should be given pizzas, even though it's junk food. So
Yes.
I think you started well. You had the right points. I obviously cannot evaluate you on your body language or voice modulation because I did not see your body language. Voice modulation, I found your voice to be efficient. It was strong, it was determined, but you were trying to belabor the point. Even though you had mentioned what you had to say, you were like, I know this should happen and I know that should happen. It was not conclusive. What is your point? What is your take on the topic? Do you think they should be square? In between, you said, I think pizza boxes should be rectangular. So I don't know whether you're already thinking about the cheese slides because they come in rectangular boxes. So I thought you kind of deviated from the topic a little bit, but not one of the easiest topics to speak on. This was more like a medium topic, and we wanted your take on the topic. So environment could have been a strong factor. The extra weightage excess thing could have been a strong factor. You could have mentioned the fact that they are usually boxes because boxes are easier to manufacture. You would need more precision cutting tools and technologies to manufacture round boxes. But if you have pizzas come out in round boxes, that can be good. You can also talk about research. Recently, I came across a pizza menu which was completely circle, and you would know what the pizza would look like, what are the ingredients. So there could be so much you can do. But of course, I think this is one of those cases in which you did not know enough about the topic, but I think you handled it well. So well done, Simarpreet Singh. Can we have a round of applause for Simarpreet, please?
Thank you, sir.
Well, welcome. Then we had Jatin Sahu with more of a background than a foreground. Jatin, can we have you back? Yeah, now it's perfect. If music
Yes.
can be seen, how will your favorite song look like? I think it was a very difficult topic because you made it difficult. You could have said that I don't have to think much because I know, at least in Bollywood, music is often seen. When I hear Tip Tip Barsa Pani, I can imagine Ravina Tandon and Akshay Kumar, or Akshay Kumar and Katrina Kaif, based on which generation you're from. Okay, when I say jingle bells, I can actually feel and I can see a fireplace, a Christmas tree. You can bring that aspect as well. You can bring the aspect of cartoons where music is often there. You have a lot of very interesting topics. Things like, you talked about the instruments, you talked about the way music is created. Unfortunately, because of your background and foreground not being congruent, I could not make all of what you're saying in terms of your facial expressions. But I thought, Simarpreet, that was a very confident take on the topic. And this is what we need to have. We need to have the right kind of confidence, even if you have a difficult topic. This was a very difficult topic for many people, but please understand, even the most difficult topic is very simple in its existence. You can always just go against. Just because something is told doesn't mean you have to follow that same line. So it says if music can be seen, how will your favorite song look like? Then you should first talk about what is your favorite song. You never talked about it. So what is your favorite song, Jatin?
Radha Krishna.
Radha Krishna. So you say my favorite song is Radha Krishna, and if I could see this music being played, I would imagine the flute, and I would imagine the peacock feathers coming out of the flute, and then I would slowly imagine my favorite god, Lord Krishna, holding the flute and mesmerizing us all through the music. Is it more visual? It is.
Yes.
So you have to feel it inside you, then you can come. So a very important thing that is said about impromptu speaking is show, don't tell. Don't tell us, show it to us. Go through that, feel those emotions and bring it forward. I think you did quite well, but obviously there were ways by which it could have been better, but I think definitely very well tried. Can we have a round of applause for Jatin Sahu, please? Well done. And finally, we had Manvi, right? Manvi Kumar, junk food is healthy. Where is Manvi? Yes. Manvi, very interesting take. You asked people to raise their hands and you took audience response. I loved your facial expressions. The smile was at the right place. It was very good. The only thing I thought, Manvi, you could have done better is you belabored the point. Already when you had said junk food is healthy, yes, it is tasty, it is not good for us, you keep giving more and more examples, even though you had already established your point. That happened because you were not seeing the green card, and I think something went wrong there. But see, in life things can go wrong, but you can never afford to go wrong, right? So if you think you've already made your point, just end that. Yeah, you know what, junk food is always going to be tasty, but what is healthy may not be tasty. What is tasty may not be healthy because of this reason, the processing, the oil that is used, even though it has vegetables. So I believe sometimes having junk food is fine, but if you don't want to be scolded all the time, have tinde ki sabzi or whatever. I don't know. So that I don't want to even get into the tinde ki sabzi bit, but that is what you can do. But Manvi, you have a very strong presence. You have very good body language. You have got very good voice modulation. It's just the structuring of your thoughts, Manvi, that can be better. If this was a group discussion, you would have been mercilessly cut off by someone else because you've already told your point. You've given away the point. Then someone can come and say, I don't agree, and they can change the topic. So my take on the topic would be junk food is healthy provided you're not wealthy. Because if the choice is between no food and any food, I would take junk food any day. And you can talk about poverty, you can talk about it. And then you can talk about the consumer industry. Junk food is healthy for doctors. Junk food is healthy for McDonald's. Junk food is healthy for Domino's. And I think eating junk food has a domino effect on our culture. Junk food is healthy for that single mother who has to also work. Junk food is healthy for that hostel student who has to also feel hungry and can only choose Maggie in the middle of the night. Junk food is healthy provided you are not wealthy. But if it is, so you can change the topic and take it to a different level. At the end of the day, Manvi, you already have it in you. You have the right kind of skills, but it is the organization and structuring of the topic that can make a difference. So that, ladies and gentlemen, was what happens in a Toastmasters meeting. You have an evaluator who comes in, and there are objectives that have to be met, and evaluations happen. But I've already told you all about this. I think we have about 4 more minutes left. If anyone has any questions about anything that was talked about today, feel free to ask Asankhya or me. Over to Asankhya for his closing, or to Kushagra for his closing. So whoever wants to take it forward, let us know. We are here for another 4 more minutes. Asankhya, you're on mute, I think.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ayan, once again for sharing your insights, particularly when it comes to your nuggets of wisdom, when it comes to how we can better ourselves as communicators, as effective public speakers. Thank you so much for that. Now, before we proceed, anything that someone might want to add, anything, the forum is open, even for a Q&A when it comes to GD, or you can say impromptu speaking in general as such. The floor is open. You can shoot any question to our keynote, and he would be happy to answer that. Yeah, Sneha, I can see you unmuting yourself. Yeah, please.
Many times, even if I know about the topic or I have the knowledge, but some natural fear or this nervousness automatically comes up, and this tends to make me forget everything that I know, and everything mashups, and I am not able to perform well. So what to do in?
I think I have something to add here with Asankya's permission. See, honestly speaking, even a Sachin Tendulkar needs to do that. Even a Shah Rukh Khan needs to do that. Even a Warren Buffett needs to do that. You know what? Practice. Because practice makes perfect. Just having knowledge is not enough. You need to have all the six levels: knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. So, Sneha, you probably have glossophobia, which is known as the fear of public speaking, which most people in the world have. About 72% of people in the world have this fear, the fear of public speaking. Wherein even if you know everything or you feel you know everything, when you are trying to speak in front of people, you have some phobias. So a great way to take care of this is to try out public speaking. The only way to learn swimming is to be thrown into the water. Of course, not by a serial killer or something. But you need to be in the water to learn swimming. And we are all good at public speaking because we speak in public. We practice in public. We get the right kind of evaluations. So practice public speaking. What you can do is go through the editorial column of newspaper Sneha to find out viewpoints and counter viewpoints on a topic. Maybe take small points and share it with your friends and have opportunities to speak impromptu and take feedback. Take feedback about your body language, about your voice modulation. Of course, if you have an opportunity and can join a Toastmasters meeting, I think probably the learning will be accelerated, but you can also try it on your own if you have the time, the patience, and the resources. Jatin Sahu also has a question. I hope that answered your question, though. Jatin,
Yes.
what's your question?
I have comment to the session. Sir, I amazed at the point when Asankya sir accidentally show the next slide, and sir, you perfectly managed it. About listen wala point.
Thanks, Jatin. How sweet. I think we have to manage things, and I know that you guys kind of saw that, but you have to do what you can do, and that is, I think, impromptu thinking. Thank you, Jatin, for mentioning that. We also have Shivansh Karanwal, who says that I'm sorry, I just joined. So can you summarize the whole meet once again, please? Uh-oh. Okay, the summary of the entire meet. I'm going to share my screen and quickly take you through the summary of the entire meet. Okay, everyone, are you ready? I think I don't have no longer have access. I think that could be fun. I don't have time though. Do we have any more time? It's already 6:30. So how do we do that? Okay, I'm just going to speak. Okay. So we had welcome. I told you what to expect from this session. I said it's very important to be doing better and prepare for a group discussion. You have to take the deep of faith. Where what was deep of faith? Wait, do I have access to share? Let me just, no, I don't have. That's okay. I talked about taking the deep of faith, where D is delve deep, I is interpret, and P is perform. So we needed to delve deep into industry needs and requirements, and I talked about LinkedIn's report about the top 5 power skills that you need, which are creativity, persuasion, collaboration, adaptability, and emotional intelligence. I talked about a study published in September 14, 2017 by Michigan State University about expressive writing, that it takes only about 8 minutes of creative writing every day to cool your brain and to be able to accomplish. I talked about what next after creative writing, creating an emotional outlet and letting go, developing self-confidence and identity, giving wind to your imagination, listening how to organize your thought, developing thought leadership. We then talked about the next one from D to I, which is interpret. Interpret the truth about effective communication. And I told you about the 3 pillars of communication, which is listen, listen for need and envision the future. The second is watch out for audience response. And the third is speak right to make the future bright. I, of course, talked about it later on in detail. We also talked about congruency of communication. As per a psychologist, Albert Mehrabian, only 7% of what you say and what you're trying to say is due to your words. 38% is voice modulation, and 55% is body language. I give the example of I did not say stole the chocolate by asking you all to say it in your native tongues. Multiple languages were spoken, and then I demonstrated voice modulation, by which the meanings of the sentence changes. Then I talked about the 3 whys. So in a group discussion and anywhere in life, you should be able to answer the 3 questions. Why this? Why are you talking about this? Why me? Why are you talking about this? And why now? Why are you talking about this now? So in a discussion at the right time, you have to speak. You have to understand what is your perspective. What perspective are you bringing into the table? And why are you talking about this? So whatever is your interpretation for or against, you have to be very clear as to why you're speaking like that. I next finally went to the P of DIP, which is perform, P for perform despite obstacles. And I talked about the power of impromptu speaking, which can improve oral expression of thought, help develop your confidence in public speaking, help you think quickly on your feet, develop communication and leadership skills, and so on. We discussed what can go wrong, some of the things that came just now that people are afraid. There's a separate workshop for that. But what can we do to make things better? The first tip is listen. And we talked about the second tip, which is watch out and pause. And then we talked about the third tip, which is tell. And finally, the fourth tip, end. I then had a fifth tip, know where you stand, understand whether it is a simple topic, an easy topic, or a difficult topic. If you don't understand anything, you have to still speak about it. There is a way you can do that. If it's a medium topic, come up with unusual pop culture references. And if it's a very simple topic, go against the flow. Okay, I have not yet demonstrated that. If you have time, we will do that. I'd also give you 3 tips to race ahead, which is be confident, be brief, and be sincere. And I reminded you, practice makes perfect. Think, ask before doing any task, prepare. That is, listen, learn, and only then speak. And finally, rehearse, practice to make it perfect. I then told you a little bit about Toastmasters, about a typical Toastmasters meeting where you have prepared speeches, table topics, evaluation. And after that, Asankhya had table impromptu topics for all of us. We had 4 topics that were spoken by 4 wonderful students. And I gave a little bit of an evaluation of to all of them, telling them about how well they performed. So that's all there is. Thank you so much. And I hope you got the answer you were seeking, Shivansh Karanwal.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you for repeating. Sorry I caused you trouble.
No problem at all. I know we have already ended our time, but I have a demonstration for you if anyone is interested. Even otherwise, we can go forward. Thank you so much for all the opportunities. And I wish you all the best in your group discussions. I hope there will be lots of things to discuss and you will do it as a group as well as individually. So thank you.
Sir, I would like to take a minute.
Yeah, of course.
So from today's session, we have got lots of tips and useful advice that we can use to improve ourselves during the group discussion. Now I would like to express my gratitude for Ayan sir for taking out time from his busy schedule and coming as a guest speaker in this event conducted for the students of ITBHU. As a small token of gratification, the Skill Development Council would like to present a memento to Ayan sir.
Thank you so much.
Here it is, sir.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. How sweet. Very nice. Thank you.
That this memento will be shared to you via mail.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Now, before ending, I would like to announce that the Skill Development Council of SCS, in collaboration with Speak Up, is soon coming up with a series of mock group discussions where you can practice the knowledge that you have gained today. And so, by the end of this mock group discussion series, you will be good and confident enough to ace any group discussions during the internships, placement, or any kind of scenario. The announcement notice and further information will be made to everyone soon. Thank you.
Thank you. I think Sneha had a question. I'm not sure. Sneha?
It was by mistake, sir.
Oh, no problem. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye and take care.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Ayan, for joining. And I would like to just take a moment and just commend the efforts of the entire student counseling services from ITBHU, as well as Toastmaster Devang Pandey, who has been planning or coordinating with the ITBHU team to conduct this event from, you can say, Toastmasters, bringing, you can say, distinguished Toastmaster Ayan Pal on board for this event. We earlier tried to do an offline event as well, but that couldn't happen. So thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Ayan, for taking out time and being there this time offline offline. Maybe someday, maybe in the future, in the coming months, we can plan something offline as well with you. Thank you
Sure.
so much, Manvi, I can say from Toastmasters for joining us and being there as a support, as a backend towards it in the backend, helping us with the managing the entire meeting as well. Thank you, Kushagra, for taking a lead and making sure this event is a success. That's all from our end. Kushagra, over to you to give your concluding remarks, if any, and end the meeting.